Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Now, Aquarius, we are going to get right into it this week with each of the signs. I would also encourage you to explore your rising sign, or, well, yeah, funny I said that. It's not what I meant to say, but I channeled it. So check out your rising sign. I want to say your north and south nodes this week. We are specifically looking at what this full lunar eclipse energy in the north node of Pisces is sort of heralding in for you. It does represent new beginnings and new directions, so we're going to focus on that this week. Before I turn the camera on, I wanted to pull out some cards. I was looking for one card. I got 3 cards for you guys for the overall theme, so I've got something to talk to you about right away. I went into the Starseed Oracle deck Messenger. How interesting. The theme that you guys have, that energy that is coming in, like the newness for you, is awesome. Listen to this. This is, you have star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, and then you have earth school, life lessons, and then you have surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy. You guys are meant to be tapping in to some sort of hidden secrets here in how do you enjoy life? What are the pleasures in life? This is what you should be focusing on. This is what this is about for you. It's maybe some of you have had sort of a rough go the last little while that you've been here on earth, like earthing and learning. This is all about finding the pleasures in life. This is tapping into your Venus energy. This is making love to life. So this is enjoying the sweetness of it, just as the card says. It is exploring the things that give you happiness and pleasure. How do you enjoy happiness and pleasure? But this is like some sort of lost wisdom. Is it something? Is it something that you've forgotten? Is it something deeper here? Like, is it a period of time where you're going to find pleasure in areas, happiness and joy in areas that you did not find that before? Or are there areas that where you've forgotten to find and incorporate this into your life? It's also kind of giving me the vibe here of somebody who's done a lot of the lessons that they've been required to do on their soul's journey. This is also, it's almost like a bit of a vacation time. Like, you know, it's almost like with Earth School here, it's like the final bell has rung. It's the last few minutes before you go out for summer vacation. Like, it kind of has that, right? Like, this is almost like going out to summer vacation, like just out. Isn't that such a lovely energy? Actually interesting, because maybe my Southern Hemisphere friend, I don't know if your school systems are sort of similar, like there might be some symbolism in that for the Southern people down in the Southern Hemisphere. I would imagine, right? Because in the Northern Hemisphere, the reason why that I believe that we do, that like school is out in the summers because a lot of the kids need to go to the farms and help their family with all the farm work that would occur over the summer. They needed to be available to do that. So if you're in the Southern Hemisphere and you're moving into this is very symbolic. Like, if you're going into warmer weather right now, you're really meant to enjoy it. Get out there and enjoy nature. Put your feet in the water, put your feet on the sand, just kind of connect yourself here very deeply. Now, if you're more in the Northern Hemisphere, like I am, or maybe you're around the equator and it's not so much a significant change for you seasonally speaking, these are definitely areas here where you're going to learn about yourself through pleasure and happiness. So this is not learning about yourself through strife and struggle. This is learning more about yourself and connecting with yourself through joy and happiness. I love that for you. I got so excited, we're knocking things over. Okay, so now we're going to pull cards together. I am going to go into the Return of Spirit Oracle deck here. Actually, that feels very relevant based on the Starseed Oracle cards that already came out. So what do we have for Aquarius? What is being heralded in? What is coming in for them? What is this new beginning energy? Oh, I love it when cards fly out. Up, my friends, up, bringing your free. Oh, it's not. It's sort of, I want to say too, it's recognizing that your frequency is not something that necessarily has to be adjusted. It's just opening, allowing your frequency to open here. You have the Up card. Let me find it. Up. Ooh, time to lift your eyes off the ground and start looking up towards the heavens. So a deeper connection with the heavens here, a period of time where maybe this is like a connection like you've not had before with the heavens. Keeping you down and trying to be small isn't doing anyone any favors. This world needs you, the real you. Low self-esteem and self-worth is impeding your perception of whom and what you really are. It is also affecting your ability to put yourself out into the world. There is a whole other life waiting inside you, crying to be lived. The only thing standing in your way is you. The universe sees you and knows you as a divine spark of the all. They're calling you now to begin embracing that aspect of yourself too. Stand up, hold your head up, and begin looking at the ways in which you are disempowering yourself. It's time to start building your own personal sense of value and your own sense of worth. Spirit knows this is not an easy task, which is why they have brought you this message today. Every time you feel you are not enough, look up to the heavens and know the entire cosmos is supporting you on this. When you see the sky above, let that be a reminder that you are more than enough. You are God incarnated, and the only one who can give you value and a sense of worth is you. There is nothing your guides and angels want more than to see you step into the truth of who you really are. Start looking to the good within you, the value you actually do have, and the difference you really do make. Start to see the universe as the universe sees you. Human is what you are wearing on the outside. Inside, you are a brilliant light of divine source. Remember who you are. I love that you have that card with this combination here, because the Venus energy too, with like enjoying life, the pleasures in life. Venus talks about how we want to be loved, how we want to love, how we want to find comfort and pleasure in life. How would we like to share comfort and pleasure in life? So I think at the first step in this is obviously to look deep within yourself here in areas that you have maybe made too small. You've made too small. They're not even meant to be small. You need to allow these energies of yourself to come up again, to love yourself in its fullest, to recognize the real value that you have in yourself. This feels like, spiritually speaking for you, Aquarius, this is the beginning of you having a greater self-confidence, having a greater sense of value in yourself, and stepping into that authentically. Stepping out. I'm seeing somebody who is stepping kind of like, it almost looks like your suit, the suit of you, like it's kind of like unzipping it. There's another you there. It's almost like a snake, right? Like coming out of the skin, releasing a whole skin of you that represented a period of time where you thought less of yourself, where you doubted yourself, where you allowed yourself to feel small, where you prevented yourself from stepping forward into who you really are and you're really truly meant to be. So it's like this authentic. I really am seeing it. It's like the snake of a skin is what is coming off for you in this eclipse energy, Aquarius. Looking up to the heavens. Every time you see the sky, to recognize that you are a spark of the divine. You are more than just a spark of the divine. You are divine incarnate, right? As we all are, but there's almost like this doubt here, and that there's nothing of you that isn't good enough. Every aspect of yourself that you are experiencing, that you have experienced, is for your highest good. It is what your soul intended to experience through this incarnation. And here it is. You're stepping up. What's at the bottom? Mediumship. Right. Interesting. Right and mediumship. Maybe some of you are sort of like downloaders in terms of writing. Some of you also talk about like our ancestors and those that are deceased, being able to connect with them and writing. Maybe some of you even like have been doing family trees here. Maybe there's something that is in your family lineage that makes you feel less. It doesn't represent you. It's just a historical fact about other people who have incarnated in the past, and your DNA has just happened to be connected to those. There's definitely maybe even somebody who's tracing a lineage here as well, with writing, when you write, whether this is something like writing a letter to a friend, writing to your congressman, or to whatever it could be, writing a letter to a loved one, writing, even writing like manifestate. Oh, never thought of that. That's very interesting. It's such a fascinating period here, because it's a full moon which represents closures and endings and the ending of cycles, right? But it's happening on a north node, which also represents like our new beginning, the energy that we move towards. That is what our soul is trying to sort of like achieve, to step into achieving, like the beginning of this, the start of something. I don't know what I was saying about before that. Sort of like it just like really struck me, like really like it is a full moon, so it represents an ending, but it does. So it is. It's like, actually, what is that skin, that old skin that you're taking off, and you're walking for, oh, I like that 1111, the old skin that you're taking off, and you're walking, the steps that you take forward now are about this more authentic, genuine you that does have a very strong sense of confidence in who you are, knowing that you are enough, you are more than enough. Not comparing yourself with other people, recognizing that the uniqueness of who you are is what God intended. When you look into the sky, and hopefully you can see a part of the sky no matter where you are, unless you're watching me from prison. But I don't know how you do that. Can you do that? And you can't get out. Look at the sky. Every time you look at the sky, think to yourself, I am greater than I've allowed myself to be. I am going to walk into my true greatness. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of tarot. I picked this deck. It's the water, I think the Water Fountain Tarot. It really gives me a Pisces feeling. Well, even the fact that it is very watery. The Six of Coins. This looks like one of those situations where it's just all bound up and it's just pulling a string and it all releases. There's a potential here within yourself that has been held back. There is a part of yourself that you are maybe also not sharing. So this is representing like turning away from being closed off in aspects, in situations and scenarios where the closed off energy within you makes you little in that situation. It makes you little in that situation. You're meant to be open in certain situations where you're kind of like closed off. Yeah, you're meant to be open where you're kind of closed off in certain situations here. It's pulling that string and it is allowing yourself to flow forward, to share of yourself, right? The Six of Pentacles is also talking about sharing equally, give and take in life here, but it's to be able to share equally, to know that you have a lot to give here. The High Priestess. I love that with the moon. Death. Holy crap. This is a spiritual rebirth. And the Five of Cups. There's a sense of taking a second here and looking back at who you are and who you've been. More like a who you've been. I feel like, too, that there is some, perhaps, sadness that you've been alchemizing. And when I say that you've been alchemizing, this doesn't feel like something that, like, I'm not talking about the last few days or a few weeks. This could be something that's gone on for months or years in this major transformation. There's, like, definitely major transformation here with the High Priestess and the Death card. This is alchemizing your emotions. And maybe it is your emotions, your emotional interpretation or attachment to your past that is hindering your future And when I say hindering your future, it's how it affects your confidence, how it affects how you believe in yourself. You've possibly gone through situations here that you don't understand. There's hidden meaning here that has yet to be uncovered, or maybe won't be uncovered in this lifetime. The Seven of Swords. Oh yeah, there's hidden. The Four of Coins. And the King of Swords. It's funny I said, like, unless you're watching me from prison and you can't see the sky. Because doesn't these look like the old-fashioned prison outfits with the white and black stripes? And then we turn that around with the multi-stripes here. A sense of who you are. Redefining your ego? Okay, yeah. There's an area of your ego here that has... Well, I want to say unintentionally to your higher self, but the ego is not really a part of the higher self. So it's almost like it's affected the higher self, or the higher self has had difficulty pushing through this, this ego. Because this has left you in lack. This has left you small. I want to say there's pride associated with this as well. Maybe if your pride has been hurt in some form. So Death card. Yeah, there's things that have happened here that maybe don't make sense to you, or ways that... It does feel like how the universe has unraveled things around you. I say unraveled, and that feels like maybe... like the lack of control. The Death card. The Four of Swords. There we go. That's an interesting card to come in after talking about the ego has been in the way. And then we're dismantling it. The ego is also our sense of identity. Healing that. Connecting with your deeper self. Some of you also connecting with animals here. The Magician. Wow. And Judgment. Holy crap. This is really, like, when the ego gets out of the way, this gives you the opportunity to manifest between, like, this Six of Pentacles to me is also talking about manifesting between yourself and God, between yourself and the heavens. That there are things that you're sort of meant to create and build here that are not just for you, that are meant for, like, a greater cause here. The divine is working through you. And if you're not doing what the divine would like you to do because your ego is gotten into the way here. But this is this is what we're looking at as being closed off here. Because there is a very unique and definite rebirth going on here with this Death card. Having a deeper connection with spirit for sure. It's interesting. It's like it's reminding me of the Matrix. You know, I can't remember if it's the red or the blue pill or whatever the frick the pill is. It takes the pill and then suddenly is aware of himself in this sort of, I don't know, it's like an incubator or, right? And it's just taking his resources. You have felt like a resource. You have maybe even felt like your resources have been taken from you, as opposed to recognizing that you have an unlimited amount of resource within you once you're really tapped into the universe. There's a part of you here that's meant to be given and shared that has been closed off. This Five of Cups, it's interesting because the Five of Cups is looking back on everything there. Focusing too much on the past is also bad for your emotional health. Focusing too much on the past is not good for your emotional health. The Two of Cups, the Two of Coins, wow, and the Page of Wands. Okay, I love this card because this person is looking in the different, and it's like an inner child. Look at the switch. This gloomy, it reminds me of, if you've seen that meme of, I think McDonald's turned into, what has it described? A fun-loving, silly kid into a depressed, middle-aged, and they show, like, you know what McDonald's stores, restaurants look like in the 1970s and 80s, and what they look like now. Just like these gray, black buildings. But look at, that's just it. It's almost like turning away from this more modern McDonald's and going back into the, to the, like, the playful, silly, all sorts of primary color energy. I feel like maybe the relationships around you too, like there's been negotiation in certain relationships here that maybe they've just been about like fair and square, equal balance. And it's you feel like maybe reciprocation is counted, or you have to count reciprocation. There could even be relationships here where you have felt sort of juggled, or you've been maybe even juggling relationships that have left you feeling sad and drained. Because this Page of Wands is literally like releasing, there's the old skin, releasing this old skin and coming out this new, fresh skin. And it's very dynamic, it's very energized, it's very excited. It is a very healthy, fresh, and free inner child that is coming out on the other side of this depressing looking old, but it's a newer McDonald. They do. They're very, I think they're going with a modern look. I was like, what the fuck? They used to be like yellow and red and brown and black and gray. And everything is monochromatic and angular. There's no more like softness in the design, but that's it. You're taking off the more modern McDonald's skin and you're putting on the 1970s, 1960s to 80s. I want to say 1960s to 80s. Maybe it was still a little bit free flowing and fun looking back in the 90s. I don't remember. Oh, we're not done yet. Okay, how is that? How do I have, why is this? Oh, the High Priestess. How did she end up in my hand again? The Nine of Cups is at the bottom. That's nice too. I mean, that's like pulling away. I want to say, to me, it looks like, in general here, even from the cards that I originally pulled out, you are moving, you are closing off a period here of feeling kind of like sad and down. And this period of sad and down is all about your past. It's all about your past. Like, and it's maybe even whatever has made you sad and down, maybe doesn't even exist anymore. And it's time to really like find pleasure in life. That's what this cycle is about for you. This is like jumping into Earth School, but this is learning about what brings you pleasure and joy and happiness in life. It's like a wisdom that you've lost here. It is to go back out and to find it. That's what this is about for you. I'm going to go into the Journey of Love Oracle deck. And to me, as many of you have probably heard me say before, I find that this deck is like from God's mouth to your ears. I know to some degree, like all of the tarot and oracle decks are a little bit like that. This one to me feels like it literally is. Like there's no guide between us and the message. It's just from God to us. So for Aquarius, in this eclipse energy, 3 to 1. How interesting. So maybe that also talks about relationships in the past. You have like these two. You have 2, 2, 2. If you include yourself in that, right? Let's say there's 2 plus 1, you is 3. 3 to 1. And maybe that's what some of this is. Like maybe some of you, there's connections here that have been reduced. I want to say this is also Angel of Jupiter Awaken at the bottom. Wow. Expansion and growth. 3 to 1. It also feels like energies incorporating and coming together. It's card number 10, which is also, that's interesting, 10 being a number of completion in the tarot. There is a heavenly child in your midst. It may be within your heart, in your womb, or in a glimmer in your eye, soon to be. This child holds the key to the fulfillment of a process that is happening for you now. I love that because you ended with this Page of Wands. The child might be a physical culmination of your marriage or commitment to another. It might be a symbolic birthing of a new self after a time of learning to bring male energies of protection and discernment together with female energies of feeling and creativity, whether within yourself or in your relationship with another. The child might symbolically be a new life, an improved relationship, a book, a new job, a completely renewed way of dealing with what was once a challenging issue, and so soon will be not an issue for you anymore. Just to name some examples. From masculine to feminine to child, there is now just one, a new reality dawning with grace. This oracle holds a message for you. New life is upon you now. You are being reborn, and you will give birth to what is meant for you this lifetime. There is no need to worry. Just pray with an open heart that you may be supported to fulfill your destiny. You already are, of course, but prayer can help you realize it. The rest is in the loving and capable hands of the divine. And there you go. You guys, yeah, that's rebirth. Totally. You're coming out of this tired, old, dark, monochromatic, adulting mood into this free-spirited inner child. Absolutely love it. I'm going to go do the extended Aquarius. In the extended, I'm going to dive deep. I would still say deeper because to some extent we are seeing the closures here. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into what is closed. And when I say closed, I mean sort of like a world card closed. Like this is completed fully and you're not going back to it ever again. Also seeing the immunity card in the Return of Spirit Oracle deck. So lessons learned that you will never have to learn again in this lifetime or others. There are 2 options in the description below if you would like to follow me to the extended. Thank you so much, Aquarius. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.